Bonjour, je m'appelle Andy Lucchesi, avec Rock Models in Paris. I'm 6 foot. Thank you very much. Andrew Lucchesi with Rock Models. Thank you.
Investigative journalist Michael Gross has written several books covering both the world of real estate and fashion, including the bestsellers 740 Park and Model. He has also been covering Donald Trump since 1985 and was fully aware of the president's former lifestyle. When Donald Trump announced he was running for president in 2015, Gross decided to dig a little deeper into Trump's past to find out more details about the legendary parties Trump used to host at the Plaza Hotel, which he owned at the time. It was well known that these parties were filled with minors. Many were young models trying to get their big break. It was a different world in the 90s. Sleeping with underage girls was just something that a lot of rich, powerful men did. No one thought twice about it. It was especially common in the fashion world. To provide further details on the parties Trump hosted, Gross found two former attendees who agreed to give details of what they saw going on. The first was a photographer who attended many parties but requested that his name remain anonymous, for obvious reasons. Here's what he had to say.
Trump would take over suites on the corners of his hotel with views of Central Park and Grand Army Plaza. The attraction for the men was young girls assuming they'd get somewhere by joining the party. Of course, it never happened. Young models were attracted to the parties with a simple, time-tested pitch. You'll meet rich guys who will help you. It was networking, but on a weird, bizarre scale. The girls were as young as 15 and were in over their heads. They had no idea, and they ended up in situations. There were always dramas because the men threw money and drugs at them to keep them enticed. It's based on power and dominating girls who can't push back and can be discarded. There's always someone to pick them back up. Trump would go from room to room. I was there to party myself. It was guys with younger girls, sex, a lot of cocaine, top-shelf liquor, but no smoking. Trump didn't approve of cigarettes. The men at these parties often knew each other. It's a small community. They exchanged information, facilitated each other. Trump was in and out. He'd wander off with a couple girls. He was getting laid like crazy. Trump was at the heart of it. He loved the attention, and in private, he was a total fucking beast.
The second attendee Michael Gross spoke to was not only a frequent visitor at the Trump parties at the Plaza Hotel, but also helped to organize them by recruiting models. His name is Andy Lucchesi. He was a friend of Donald Trump's in the 90s. Andy was a successful model who still does modeling to this day, working for Lock Management. Andy's face may seem familiar. He was the face of Tommy Bahama for over a decade. And in Michael Gross's article that ended up being published by the Daily Beast, for some unknown reason, Andy Lucchesi allowed Gross to attach his name to his quotes. This is a prime example of how in the minds of many, a powerful man having sex with a minor in those days wasn't a big deal. As you'll soon find out when you hear his quotes, Andy is basically telling the world that he slept with underage girls, and that it wasn't a big deal. It's just something he did back in the day.
It's fair to say that I was a recruiter for the parties. As for the parties themselves, there was cocaine around. Donald Trump did not do cocaine. He was in control of himself. Girls? Well, of course. But did he have sex with his female party guests? So, he's a man with a woman. How old were they? A lot of girls, 14, look 24. That's as juicy as I can get. I never asked how old they were. I just partook. I did partake in activities that would be considered controversial today.